Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on CapnclydesMTG. We got more Aetherdrift coming your way, drifting right in there. Giggity. So, before we get started, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. Shit's in the description. You know, buy cards, all that good jazz. YouTube member, Patreon, yakety, smackety. So, let's get into it. We got quite a few cards today. And let's skip right past the nonsense. So, we're going to start with this little doozy, the Aether Siphon. Looks like a shark to me. But anyway, 2 blue and 1 for this artifact. It has start your engines. For those who don't remember, start your engines. When something comes in with it, it gets 1 speed counter. It can't be 0. Every time the opponent loses 1 life, any way, shape, or form, on each of your turns, it gets another counter. The max is 4. That's when you get the max speed. Now, holy shit, this is good. Didn't read past that first part yet. 3 mana for an artifact that for 2 colorless you can tap and just draw a card. Boy, we've come a long way since Jam Day Tome. Let me tell you what. Also, at max speed, whenever you draw a card, each opponent mills 2 cards. I don't see why that needs to be in there. But to be fair, I honestly don't care. I just want to draw cards with this. This is going to be very popular in Commander. I mean, the only thing it's lacking is the ability to tap for mana. Get the foil versions before they get too expensive. I'm warning you now. So, moving on. Next, we have this little doozy, the Unswerving Sloth. Because, you know, do sloth really move fast enough to even swerve? Anyway, 2 white and 3 for a 5/5. God, just the power level. 5 mana, 5/5. Anyway, whenever this creature attacks while saddled, it'd be very easy to saddle a sloth. It's not going anywhere. It gains indestructible to the end of turn, and you untap all creatures you control. This is dumb. So, if you saddle this thing and swing in, you get to untap all your dudes. That includes this one, by the way. It says all creatures. So, this is like pseudo-vigilance on an uncommon. This is going to be amazing and limited. I mean, it's not good enough for anything else, but in limited, this is going to be insane. And now that I look at it, it looks like a giant camel, not a sloth. But anyway, moving on. So next we have the Boom Scholar. Of course, it's a goblin. Green, red, and 1 for this 3/3. Good cost. Exhaust abilities of other permanents you control. Cost 2 less to activate. We would eventually see something like this. It does say other permanents, not this one. So you got to pay full price unless you have other ones out. A red, green, and 4 for the exhaust. Creatures and vehicles you control gain trample till their turn. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. That is not the best. I'm not gonna lie. That's very unimpressive. Especially since exhaust only happens once. Yeah, moving on. I mean, it's fine filler space and limited. Grease Wrench Goblin. Boy, look at the face on that thing. 1 red for a 2/1. This is going in every red deck. Moving on. It has exhaust, a red and 2. Discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. This thing is nuts. Wow. Standard All-Star. I don't know if it's going to see play in other formats, but the ability to discard 2 cards and draw 2 and make it a 3/2, it's got some legs, at least a little. In Standard, the ability to discard extra cards in your hand, make this a 3/2 on turn 3, and filter cards through your hand. It's a 1-drop 2/1. Like, this is like the best of all worlds. So moving on, we have the Goblin Surveyor. Oh boy, red and 2 for this 3/2 with trample. Has start your engines. At max speed, it has 3 colorless. Exile this card from your graveyard to draw a card. Well, that was not as impressive as I thought it was going to be. Fine for limited, but that's probably about it. Next, we have Pedal to the Metal. Oh, it's a common. Wah, wah. Red and X. Instant target creature gets +X/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. So it's a fireball creature thing. If your creature has trample. I mean, it's fine for limited. Let's just move on. Next, we have March of the Whirldoos. It's a mythic. And it's very disturbing. 3 green and 3 enchantment. Creatures you control have base power and toughness 6/6. That could be amazing. And are oozes in addition to other types. That is disturbing. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it's not their turn, create a 3/3 green elephant creature token. But Why is it making green elephants when they just become oozes? Well, I mean, I guess it's oozes in addition. So this is going to be pretty cool in Commander. Maybe. Yeah, this is probably bargain bin, to be honest. But anyway, moving on. We have the Wreck Remover, not the home Wreck Remover. Anyway, 4 colorless for this 3/4. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, you gain 1 life. Fine for limited. It does have cycling, which makes it very playable in limited because, you know, card draws a thing. So, yeah. Next, we have the Spot Cycle Scouter, okay? White and 1 for a 3/2. This vehicle enters, you get to scry 2, and it crews for 1. This should be, if you're playing white, this should be in your deck in limited. Period. End of story. Other than that, though, it's probably not going to see any play. Next, we have the Cloudspire Captain. White and 2 for this 2/3. Mounts and vehicles you control get +1/+1. It's a Vehicle Lord. Or a Mount Lord. Giggity. This creature saddles mounts. I'm sorry. Professional. This creature saddles mounts and crews vehicles as though it was power 2 greater. So 4. It probably should have been 3 greater to be fair because that way it'd been 5. It could pretty much just mount anything. Yeah, observational humor. Next we have Possession Engine. Is that a shark tied to the roof? Anyway, 2 blue and 3 for this 5/5 vehicle. When it enters, gain control of target creature and opponent controls for as long as you control this vehicle. Holy shit, this is good. That creature can't attack or block for as long as you control this vehicle. Well, who cares? You just steal the creature that they got and you crew the vehicle with it and punch people in the face. This is going to be really good. Definitely a standard card. This is going to see lots of commander play. So much commander play. Yeah, this thing's, I'd say it's got some legs, but it's like it's got wheels. Anyway, moving on. Next we have Marshall's Path Cruiser. Path Cruiser? Yeah. 3 colorless for a 6/5. Well, that seems fair. This vehicle enters, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it to your hand. That's already amazing. It has exhaust for Wooburg, 1 of every color. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. This vehicle becomes an artifact. That's permanent. Like, this is a 6/5, basically for 8 mana divided up twice. This is going to be huge and limited. I mean, maybe even Commander because you can search up basic lands. Hell, there might be some play in Standard for this. I mean, some ramp decks, hell. Next, you have the Molt Tender. That sounds disgusting. 1 green for a 1/1 Insect Druid. Tap, mill a card. Let's mill yourself. Okay. Tap, exile a card from your graveyard, add 1 mana of any color. That is the weirdest mana dork. But whatever. I mean, it's a thing. Next, we have Defend the Rider. 1 green instant. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible. Already sweet. Create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token that saddles, mounts, and crews vehicles as though it's 2 greater. So that'd be a 3/1 basically. This is an amazing uncommon. This tons of standard play. I mean, this is probably going to see play in modern stuff because A, it helps you protect the queen, but it also can give you a creature if you need a creature to fight with, or just kill your opponent. Like, this seems really good. Next, we have the Orotuk Mammoth. 2 green and 4 for a 5/5. When it enters and whenever it attacks while saddled, create a 3/3 green elephant creature token. That's pretty good. Although it saddles for 5. That's a bit much. Powerhouse and limited, but other than that, this ain't going to see no action. Next, we have the Mindspring Merfolk. Oh, here we go. 1 blue, 1/1. Okay. Exhaust. So for 2 blue and X, tap, draw X cards, put a +1/+1 counter on each merfolk you control. Draw X cards, put a +1/+1 counter on each merfolk. All right, so, I mean, Fish deck getting a little bit of love. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that mind-breaking. I mean, you'd probably be lucky to get to 4 mana on a Fish deck before you try to kill the opponent. But hey, I mean, pump the whole team once, draw a couple cards. It can't be terrible. And to be fair, like, this would be sweet in Commander. Like most cards. Anyway, Momentum Breaker, black and 1 enchantment that has Start Your Engines. When this enchantment enters, each opponent sacrifices a creature or vehicle of their choice. Each opponent who can't discards a card. Holy shit, this is good. This is going to be in every standard deck playing black. This is amazing. For 2, sacrifice this enchantment, gain life equal to your speed. I mean, that's fine. It's whatever. I mean, I really don't care about that second half. It's just kind of a thing. But that whole make your opponent sack a creature or vehicle, this seems amazing. This seems really good. Limited and standard all-star, in my opinion. Mark my words. All right, next we have whatever that says. No, seriously. It is Intimidation Tactics. So for 1 black, we have a sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a creature or artifact card from it and exile it. Cycling 3. Now this is hand disruption I can get behind. Later in the game, when you don't have anything to intimidate out of their hand, you can just draw a card off of it. This is going to be good, and we'll see this. This will see some action in standard until we figure out if it's really good enough to be a card. Because there's just too many options. I mean, yeah, cycling 3 is high, but like, I'd rather just turn 1, discard your cool stuff, to be honest with you. But late game, if I'm in a pinch, I would love if I drew this card to be able to, draw a different one. All right, next we have the Aetherdrift Living Energy Commander deck. So these are all the new cards, so we'll go through this, and this will be the end of it. You're probably thinking, thank God. But anyway, we have the Territorial Aether Spike over here, 2 red and 4 for a flying Hastings 6/5. That's fair. When it enters, you get 2 energy. When you then you may pay 1 or more energy. When you do, this creature deals that much damage to each other creature. That's kind of a pseudo-wrath, if you will. Oh, it's a cat dragon. Next, we have Rampaging Aetherhood. Snake Hydra. Oh, my God. Down into Aetherhood. Sorry. Green and 4 for a 4/4 that has Trample, Ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get an amount of energy equal to this creature's power. Then you may pay 1 or more energy. If you do, put that many counters on this creature. Holy shit. This is going straight into the Hydra doubling season whatever counter deck. This thing's insane. We have Pima Trailblazer. Gotta love the elephants. Green and 2 for this 3/3 Trampler. Whenever this creature does combat damage to a player, you get that many energy. Good God. You can exhaust it by paying 6 energy, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature, then draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Wow, just 6 energy to draw 5 cards at minimum. God, that's going to be good. All right, we have Anissa. She's looking awful happy, too, to not be a Planeswalker. Anyway, World Soul Speaker, green and 3 for this 3/3 Nissa. It has Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, get 2 energy. Oh, Lord. Whenever you pay 8, you may pay 8 energy rather than pay the mana cost for permanent spells you cast. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This, like, Aetherworks Marvel, like, the shenanigans. This is why energy is busted. Also, it's a commander set. There's going to be tons of fetch lands. You're going to get 1 land's going to get you 4 energy. The next fetch land's going to get you 4 more. You're going to cast something that costs 25,000 mana from your hand. Anyway, moving on. We have the Stride Hanger Automation. 3 colorless for a 1/4. Thopters you control get +1/+1. Hey, it's a Thopter Lord. Look at that little fella. If 1 or more artifact tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional 1/1 Thopter artifact creature token with flying is also created. Hey, token decks. It's an artifact. It fits in anything. And it gives you free Thopters. Why wouldn't you want it? I mean, a 3 mana 1/4 is pretty beefy. Got some back. Etheric Amplifier. Why is this in the energy? There's nothing about this that says energy. Okay, anyway, moving on. Etheric Amplifier. 3 colorless. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. All right. 4 colorless. Tap, choose 1. Activate only as a sorcery. Double a number of each kind of counter on target permanent, or double the number of each kind of counter you have. Oh my Lord. Not only does this go into the doubling season deck, but in energy, I mean, if you get to like 16 energy, or say you get to 8 energy so you can cast a free stuff with Nissa, you just tap this for 4 colorless mana, double it, and now you're just going ham. And it's a mana rock. So like, yeah. This is gonna see some play. I mean, it's not the best mana rock, but it's good. It's good. We have Adaptive Omni Tool. Little alien probing anyone? Anyway, 2 colorless mana, equip creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Jesus. We just reprint cranial plating. Anyway, whenever equipped creature attacks, look at top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact from among them and put it in your hand. The rest on the bottom random. Or this is better than cranial plating. I mean, it equips for 3, but it's +1/+1, not just on the front. It's going to make it impossible to kill shit when you equip this to it. Just saying. Breathe. Remember? Buy Shatterstorms. Anyway, Aetherflux Conduit, 6 colorless. Whenever you cast a spell, you get an amount of energy equal to the amount of mana spent on that spell. Jesus, here we go. Tap, pay 50 energy, draw 7 cards. You may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. Thank God it's only in Commander. The love of all that is holy. This again, Etheric Amplifier, this thing. Cast a bunch of spells. Gain 25 or 25 energy. Amplifier. Now you have 50. Tap Amplifier, or tap Conduit. Draw 7 cards, wreck your opponent's world. I mean, there's a lot to do in there to get all that to go down, but like, it's Commander. You're not asking a lot here. So, it's official. This energy deck's busted as hell. I just wait people start upgrading it with like really good energy cards that were busted the first time they made it because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. Anyway, so there you have it, guys. Those are the leaks / spoilers / reveals / who cares of Aetherdrift for today. So thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. Hope to God you're not playing this monstrosity, Jesus.